Can you tell your impression, your feelings about Bridging the Gap project, and how do you think the project can contribute to more inclusive policies for social protection in low and middle income countries?
Firstly, thank you for having me here. It's been really illuminating. I think the main thing that I've learnt is the sheer depth of the outcomes you're trying to achieve, and how big the challenge is, but also all the different moving parts to achieve that. I really have appreciated learning about Ethiopia as well. Issues about devolution, which happens in certain regions, the issues of DPOs, learning about why the challenges in capacity when you're trying to bring in that kind of participation and representation element is really challenging. How do you work with DPOs that have very limited capacity, and breaking that almost vicious cycle that is a barrier to participation? And I think that's something that we see in my organisation as well. So again, the challenges aren't unique, but the way you're presenting them in such a comprehensive way is really, really important to build this really important picture that we can all advocate together. And I think this is where a lot of the complementarities lie.
What should we mandatorily keep in mind in our initiatives and in our activities?
I think there was a line that your colleague Pia said, that we need to do our homework when we work in countries, and I think this is something that we really feel strongly about at Leonard Chesire, and the reason why I'm here to talk about our research and the possible collaborations going forward, to actually really understand what is the state of policies in countries and where are the bottlenecks in implementation. Are they that the policies are not fit for purpose? Are they okay? Or are they the gold standard? And if you don't do your homework, we won't ever be able to find that out. And this is where, through our work on the Bridging the Gap research project, so the same name, different initiative, just to clarify, is starting to illuminate that. But your initiative goes that much further at looking all at the systemic and structural issues around it as well. So I think in terms of knowing the landscape really well is really important. And then the kind of really active monitoring piece, being involved in actually those sector strategic plans for social protection, being around the table with ministries, all that kind of thing. Facilitating that representation of DPOs and persons with disabilities to be in the conversations, I think, is really important. And lots of things of how we can improve monitoring and implementation. We always come back to data, and data is there, it's just often not accessible or it's not good quality, and it's moving that dial further along of how we can improve that accessibility and the breadth of it as well, disaggregate it further and more meaningfully, so policymakers do actually have much better information of what they are having to plan for. So lots of things. I could talk a lot further, but yeah, it's been really, really interesting, and thank you very much for involving us.